The Rolex Submariner is the king of dive watches, that's a fact. But what if I told you that there's a Swiss dive watch that combines a true GMT functionality, a ceramic bezel, 300 meters of water resistance, and an in-house modified automatic movement? All of that at less than a third of the sub's price. Meet the Longines HydroConquest GMT, a watch that not only offers really good specs for the price, but also delivers incredible value, especially in the entry luxury Swiss watch segment. In this video, as usual, we'll talk about the dial, the specs, the movement, what it's like to wear this watch, and we'll also cover how it stacks up against other dive watches such as the Rolex Submariner. So let's get started. Starting with the dial, as usual, this black version offers a modern and high contrast look. You can see we have large and polished apply indices that are filled with blue glowing superluminova, and the dial is surrounded by a dual tone 24-hour reho. You can see that the top half is black and you have orange numerals for nighttime, and the bottom half of the reho is gray and you have white numerals for daytime. This split color reho isn't just functional, but it will also add a lot of visual flair, and it makes reading the second time zone very intuitive. The orange GMT hand adds just the right pop of color. It's fully loomed, it has a sharp hour tip, and it stretches cleanly to the outer track or the Rio, which makes it very easy to read your second time zone at a glance. The hour and minute hands are polished and distinctive, and you have bold shapes that offer excellent legibility in both daylight but also darkness. We also have a date window at 3 o'clock, nothing too disruptive, and thankfully it's neatly executed with a beveled edge. Ceramic bezel is one of the highlights of this watch. We have 120 click unidirectional bezel with clean white numerals for contrast, and the bezel is grippy, tactile, and the sound is very crisp when you turn it. And yes, this watch has a loomed pip at 12, which makes it a proper diver. Compared to higher end dive bezels, this one holds its own surprisingly well. It's very tight, precise, and really satisfying to use. Now, moving on to the case, we have a case of 41mm with a lug-to-lug of 49.2 and a thickness of 12.9, which for a GMT dive watch is actually quite reasonable, and it wears really comfortably on most wrists. There's also a 43mm version of this watch if you prefer a bigger watch on your wrist, but personally I decided to go for the 41. The lug design has been updated from previous HydroConquest models. This one is very smooth, it has refined transitions and brushing throughout. The screw down crown is very easy to grip, and we have the Longines logo on it. And while some people might say that the polished finish makes it very hard to use, personally I haven't had any issues with that, but I get the critique. Maybe a brushed finish would have been better for functionality. The bracelet quality is genuinely impressive. It is entirely brushed and it is very comfortable to wear. It tapers from 21mm to 18, and it ends in a milled clasp where you have an excellent on-the-fly micro adjustment system which you can operate with a push button slider. This is not a folded clasp or some cheap setup. It's refined, it is smooth, and better than what you get on some $5,000 watches. Inside this watch is where things start to get really interesting. This is the Longines L844 caliber, which is a true GMT movement developed in partnership with ETA, and it is exclusive to Longines. So what makes it a true GMT? The local hour hand can be independently adjusted forward or backward in 1 hour increments without stopping the movement. So this is perfect for travelers because when you land in a new country, you just pull the crown in the first position and then you click through to your new local time zone, which is very easy to use. The movement beats at 25,200 VPH, which is 3.5 Hz, not the usual 4 Hz. But it helps extend the power reserve to 72 hours, which is really good. The movement also features a silicone balance spring, which gives it excellent resistance to magnetism and enhances long-term reliability of the movement. Longines also uses a variant of this movement called the L844.5 caliber, which you can find in the Spirit Zulu Time, for example, which is a COSC certified movement. Now, this version in the HydroConquest GMT doesn't carry the COSC certification, but in my experience, it's still keeping great time and running very close to chronometer standards. And yes, of course, it hand winds, and it has solid crown action, though I'll admit that the winding feel is a little tight. I bought this watch on the steel bracelet, and this is the version that I've been wearing and testing. The bracelet is excellent. You have solid links, a secure milled clasp, and a smooth push-button micro adjustment system that makes fine-tuning the feet very easy. You can also get this black dial version on a rubber strap, which gives it a more sporty and lightweight feel, but I personally haven't tested that configuration. Longines also offers brown and green dial variants on color-matched NATO straps, which give these models a more casual and military-inspired look, and you can get the same exact one that I have bought in blue. And same thing, you can get it with the blue rubber strap as well. It's great to see that Longines offers so many versatile configurations for this watch. Now, this watch is a true do-it-all watch. You get a diverse specs, a traveler's complication, and styling that works with pretty much everything from shorts, jeans, or even business casual. It is under 13 millimeters thick, which should fit under most sleeves, and with the bracelet it has a very satisfying presence, but it's not top heavy or uncomfortable. I think that Longines really nailed the proportions. This is a watch that I generally enjoy wearing day to day. It feels both sporty but also elegant depending on the context. Now let's talk pros first. The biggest win here is the true GMT movement for me. Not something you often find in watches under 3K. When you add in the 300 meters of water resistance, the ceramic bezel, the AR coated sapphire, and also the silicone balance spring, you've got a spec sheet that really punches well above its weight. The finishing is solid throughout, and the overall look strikes a really nice balance between sporty and refined. And at around 2,400 to 2,800 Swiss francs, depending on the configuration, it's offering serious value for money, especially when you consider what similar features cost at other brands. As for the cons, we have no display case back, which is a bit of a shame, especially given how nicely finished the movement is set to be, at least that's what I've heard. The GMT scale on the Rio is also quite small. It is legible enough in my opinion, but some people might prefer a bolder design. Dial-wise, the mix of geometric shapes, so you have triangles, circles, and rectangles, gives the watch personality, but it might not be to everyone's taste. And finally, while the crown action is generally smooth, I think that the winding is a bit lighter than I'd like it to be, just something to be aware of. Now, don't get me wrong, the Submariner is a real legend in the watch world. It is a grail piece for so many collectors, including myself. But let's be honest, it's also everywhere. You can see the Submariner pretty much every day, at least here in Switzerland. And part of what I enjoy about the HydroConquest GMT is that it feels a little more unique. It still gives you that Submariner-like aesthetic with the bold bezel, the sharp dial, the rugged feel yet elegant, but you have the added bonus of a true GMT and at a fraction of the price. For someone like me who wants that classic dive watch DNA, but with a twist, that Longines makes a lot of sense in my collection. So, is this watch the best alternative to the Submariner? For many people, including myself, I think the answer is definitely yes. The HydroConquest GMT offers a combination of functionality with its true GMT movements, excellent build quality, and also a really great design, all at the price that makes it really hard to ignore. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more watch reviews, and let me know in the comments what you think about this HydroConquest GMT, if you would consider adding it to your collection, or if you would prefer to go for the Submariner or another dive watch maybe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.